caring for your heart goes beyond the traditional diet and exercise. You know that chronic stress, anxiety, depression, even loneliness can have a serious impact on cardiovascular health, raising blood pressure, increasing inflammation, increasing cortisol, all bad things for you. Dr. Tara Chalakani is CEO of Preferred Behavioral Healthcare. It's an organization that integrates mental and physical wellness. And we say good morning to Dr. Chalakani. In fact, I was saying to our director, Pam, I know she passed it on to you. I said, Dr. Chalakani is one of my favorites, so much so that I would go crazy just to have her on and be able to see her. I
Oh,
love having you on, Dr. Chalakani. Good to
the
have you. Good
feeling
morning.
is mutual. Good to see you, Ken.
You bet. Same. Well, first off, talk about how mental health impacts heart health.
The thing is, we are one body, Ken. We don't separate at the neck, and our mental health is separate from our physical health. And when we ignore our mental health, we're ignoring our cardiac health. Because when we are under great amounts of stress, our cortisol levels raise, our adrenaline raises, which increases blood pressure. If we're not sleeping well, our bodies are not resting and repairing. When we have trauma, we have an increase of inflammation markers in our bodies, which also creates a chain reaction and can create other health issues. So we really have to pay attention to our mental health and connect the dots. Recently, I
Mm.
had an annual checkup, and the first thing I was handed, I was so proud of my doctor, was a depression screening. So we need to see more of this in healthcare because there is no separation. One thing absolutely leads to another.
Yeah, and who knows what can be prevented, right? By even the onslaught of some kind of an emotional crisis, by just having that conversation with your doctor right there and then. Maybe somebody is contemplating seeking help for whatever their emotional challenge is, but they need the advice from their physician to say, no, 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 go and talk to somebody. You should just get this off your chest and be relieved. Why suffer with it? So, what happens to the body or inside the body when that stress becomes chronic? That's an issue.
So this is when we're looking at things like an increase of plaque in our vessels impacting our heart. Again, that inflammation can cause a whole host of issues in our body, autoimmune disorders being one. So the impact is tremendous. And one of the things, and I think we've touched upon this before in another conversation, is that loneliness impacts our mental health and physical health and can reduce our morbidity. There are statistics that when you're lonely, it's the equivalent of smoking cigarettes every day. So the health impact is as tremendous as something as smoking. So one of the things that we look for when people are depressed, they tend to isolate, which creates a reality of loneliness. So it's this perfect storm of social and physical indicators that can create long lasting health risks. So, what do we
Mm.
do to change that? Again, I cannot preach enough how important sleep is. 7 to 9 hours is the standard, but we need good quality sleep because when we sleep, our hearts rest, our minds rest, our blood pressure lowers, our heart rate lowers. Again, exercise, those are the two big things. If you sleep well and exercise, you can cure so many health ills. And we're also reducing inflammation when we move our bodies, in addition to helping our heart health. And connection is super important. We need people in our lives where we feel safe, where we feel supported, because I know there are people that activate our nervous systems. They make us stressed out. They increase our heart rate. So, who are the people that you feel calm, that you can call them your people, where you feel safe? All of those things are so important. And then mostly getting screened for depression and getting screened for heart health, whether it's just a simple blood pressure check or a checkup. We need to keep the checks and balances.
Yeah, it's interesting that you talk about the importance of sleep because it really, if you think about it, it just goes so hand in hand with exercise. Exercise makes you tired later, gives you a better, longer sleep. And when you have a better, longer sleep, you're relaxed and energized so that you can get up and do the exercise. So there's a direct connection. I look at it with my 95-year-old dad right now, doctor. Yeah, he has dementia, and he tends to not be able to sleep if he is not doesn't have any kind of activity during the day. All you have to do at that age is give him a little activity, whether it's take him out for an hour, bring him outside to get some fresh air, do a little walking. He can walk. He can ambulate. It just needs a little help, and he sleeps like a baby all night. And then his mood and his memory starts to increase a little bit. So it is so amazing, that connection. And it's so, so essential, isn't it?
It is. And we see it with kids, right? When we have kids, we want them to be active and playing so that they sleep well at night. And that's why there's recess at school. They need a break, they need fresh air. And all of that is true for us. It doesn't stop when we become adults. We still need all of those things to be at optimal health and optimal performance. And we need to remember that heart health isn't just about cholesterol. Yes, that's very important, and we have to have it checked regularly, but we need to have that connection. We need to be active, all of the things for a well rounded, healthy life.
It's so important. And even my little thing I was taught when I used to be 360 to try to get kind of a grip on myself. Every morning I started doing meditation, just 5 minutes before I got out of bed. It's amazing how it sets the day. How important is that to kind of tone your mind in the morning?
Exactly. And then there you go. When you're managing your stress, you're reducing the adrenaline, you're reducing the cortisol levels, which all impact our physical health. From weight
So
gain
important.
to sleep, it's all interconnected. And that's why I love conversations like this and your attention to
Mm.
subjects like this, because we are one person. There's no separation between mental health and physical health. It all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, important. Dr. Chalakani, what's your website for everybody?
We can be found at preferredbehavioral.org, and we're here to not only screen you for depression and anxiety and all of the things mental health related, but we are integrated and we treat the whole person.
Awesome. Dr. Tara Chalakani, CEO of Preferred Behavioral Healthcare. I've already proclaimed it. You're my favorite doctor on the show, period. Thank you for
Aw,
coming on this morning.
seeing
Be
you.
well.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.